If you thought all babies looked alike, get ready for a big surprise because you're about to see 10 real kids born with incredible and unbelievable features. Number 10. Boy with a heart-shaped birthmark. Meet Sinar Engin, a real-life Cupid from Turkey who at only 14 months of age has already become something of a celebrity thanks to the adorable heart-shaped birthmark on his forehead. Sinar has been nicknamed the Love Baby, and his dad Morat says nurses at the hospital rushed him to take selfies with the newborn. Sinar is the first in the family with the special love heart mark, and his parents say he still has lots of fans who want to stop and snap photos with their love child. Birthmarks are caused by overgrowth of blood vessels, melanin-producing cells, smooth muscle fat, or collagen cells. In most cases, they appear shortly after birth, usually in the first month, in the shape of a red heart and feature in such a visible place on the body, which makes Sinar's birthmark that much more special. Number 9. Girls with a white streak of hair. 23-year-old Brianna Worthy from Ridgeland, South Carolina has passed on an unusual birthmark to her daughter. But this birthmark isn't on the baby's skin. 18-month-old Miliani was born with a white patch in front of their hair resembling famous Disney villain Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. Milana is the 4th generation of her family to be born with this remarkable trait. The distinctive mark is also visible on her 41-year-old grandmother Jennifer and her 59-year-old great-grandmother Joanne. Brianna has admitted that the show-stopping feature can occasionally have its downsides. When strangers stop her on the street asking endless questions about her unusual hair, Brianna admits that she hated her hair when she was younger, but has eventually learned to accept it as her own unique signature look, and she hopes her daughter will do the same when she gets older. Number 8. Boy with the longest neck in the world. Anatomy books say most necks should have 7 vertebrae, but 15-year-old Chinese boy Fu Wang-a has 10. The 3 extra vertebrae in Fu's neck have led him to have an unusually long neck and actually have been dubbed the boy with the longest neck in the world. Fu was diagnosed with congenital scoliosis and an abnormal chest frame, which made his neck grow extra 3 inches. Congenital scoliosis is a spinal deformity caused by vertebrae that are not properly formed. It occurs very early in development in the first 6 weeks of the embryonic formation. The condition causes Fu a great deal of pain and makes it hard for him to walk as the vertebrae presses on the nerves in his neck. Before we move on with our list, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so you guys don't miss any of this amazing content we have in store for you. Number 7. The girl with 8 limbs. Lakshmi Tata is an Indian girl born in 2005 with 4 arms and 4 legs. Lakshmi, named after the 4-armed Hindu goddess of wealth, was actually one of a pair of conjoined twins. The other twin was headless because its head had atrophied its chest and not fully developed in the womb. The girl's parents were day laborers who earned less than 40 rupees per day and couldn't afford a separation surgery for their daughter. Soon after Lakshmi was born, she became an object of worship amongst locals who believed she was an incarceration of a goddess, and at one point, a circus offered Lakshmi parents a sum of money to buy her as a side show. Number 6. The Werewolf Sisters. Savita, Manisha, and Savitari are 3 sisters from India who were all born with a rare condition called hyperchosis, also known as werewolf syndrome. The sisters' entire bodies, including their faces and hands, are covered in thick dark hair. When Savita and her sisters started kindergarten, they were happy little girls who didn't realize their looks were so different because everyone in their village knew them and treated them normally. But as soon as they started high school, their lives became unbearable. Fellow students called them monkeys, and even the teachers made their lives difficult because of the way they looked. The girls eventually stopped going to school and spent their teenage years confined in their home. When the girls were young, the family was too poor to consult any doctors, and after their father's death, they lost all hope. Eventually, their mother, Anthita, who earns around $20 a month working in a clothing factory, decided she couldn't watch her 3 girls suffer any longer. She started making public pleas for donations, and as soon as the girls became national news, a local charity contacted them. The sisters were beginning to believe that there was no hope of ever living normal lives when the family met Dr. Amid Shah, who prescribed a simple solution, hair removal cream. The cream proved effective, and Savita says it has given the girls a chance to see their faces for the first time. Number 5. Boy with a 6-inch tail. No, this isn't a picture from an episode of X-Files. This is Yang Yang, a Chinese boy who was born with a 6-inch tail. Yang Yin's family nicknamed him Little Monkey, and although they resisted having surgery to remove the tail at first, he eventually underwent a successful operation, and the embryos have a trail that measures about 1/6 of the size of the embryo itself, and as the embryo develops into a fetus, the tail is absorbed by the growing body. However, in Yang Yang's case, he developed the tail in the womb as a result of neural tube deformity. During the first month of life, an embryo grows a structure called the natural tube that will eventually form the spine and nervous system. It is thought that something went wrong with this process and Yang Yang's spine didn't develop properly. He had holes in his vertebrae, and the membranes that protect the spinal cord poked through one of them, creating what is known as meningocele, a fleshy growth that looks like a tail. Number 4. Baby without eyes. Nicole Martinez from Albuquerque, New Mexico, was 34 weeks pregnant with an ultrasound revealed that her unborn son, Jackson, had not developed his left eye. While the news was upsetting to Martinez and her fiancé, the couple was comfortable that their son would still be able to function with a single eye. But it wasn't until Jackson was born via C-section a few weeks later that doctors discovered that the boy's right eye has also fully formed, leaving him completely blind. Two main developmental conditions attributed to Jackson's blindness: anthomorphia and microthomorphia. Anthomorphia is the absence of one or both eyes at birth, and microthomorphia is one of both eyes are abnormally small, which is what occurred with Jackson's right eye. 1 in every 5,300 babies born in the United States will have either anthomorphia or microthomorphia. Number 3. Newborn with 7 teeth. While most babies are born without protruding teeth, an Indian boy named Prayan Sharma was born with not 1 but even 7 fully formed teeth. His parents Nikita and Harisha actually said they didn't notice anything strange until their son was 10 days old. Harish explained that as soon as the little Prayan boy was born, he was moved to an intensive care unit because he had an infection, which was meant that his mother was not able to breastfeed him at first. When he was eventually reunited with his mother, she tried to breastfeed him. She noticed something in his mouth. The parents and doctors were completely stunned to find 7 teeth in Prayan's mouth. According to the National Institution of Health, babies born with teeth are as rare as 1 in 3,000 births. Possible risk factors for this condition include malnutrition during pregnancy, as well as certain medical or genetic conditions. Number 2. The real-life mermaid. On December 6, 2017, the Indiana woman named Mushki Bibi astonished doctors when she gave birth to Indiana's second ever mermaid baby, but sadly lost it just 4 hours later. The unnamed baby, whose sex was unclear due to its undeveloped pelvis and fusion legs, suffered from a rare condition known as cynomolgia, or mermaid syndrome. Miss Bibi wasn't able to afford any scans during her pregnancy, and she only learned about the baby's condition when she first actually gave birth. Dr. Sudup Saha, child specialist Miss Bibi gave birth, said that this was the first case of cynomolgia in the state and the second in the country. Mermaid syndrome is an extremely rare disorder that causes partial or complete fusion of the legs and affects 1 in every 60,000 to 100,000 births. Number 1. The girl who never aged. Brooke Greenberg, or the girl who never aged, suffered from a condition so rare and mysterious that her doctors termed it Syndrome X. Brooke was born on January 8th, 1993 in Baltimore, Maryland. She was delivered by C-section 1 month before her due date, weighing 4 pounds. Besides a hip dislocation, which was corrected surgically, Brooke appeared to be a normal infant. However, in her first 6 years, she went through a series of unexplained medical emergencies, including 7 perforated stomach ulcers, multiple seizures, and a stroke. At age 5, Brooke had a mass in her brain that caused her to go into deep sleep for 14 days. She later awoke and doctors found no tumors present. According to Brooke's parents, she stopped growing between the ages of 4 and 5. At age 6, Brooke still the size of a 6-month-old, and her brain was not too much more immature than that of a newborn infant. Brooke could make gestures and recognize sounds, but she could not speak. Over several years, the Greenbergs visitation many specialists looking for an explanation for the daughter's strange condition, but no one was able to give them a diagnosis of any other genetic syndrome or chromosomal abnormality. To make things even stranger, when geneticists sequenced Brooke's DNA, they found that the genes associated with the premature aging diseases were normal. Sadly, Brooke died on October 24, 2003, and the source of her illness remains a mystery to this day. Which of these kids were the most shocked to learn about? Leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and see you in the next video.